Hey guys, welcome to Newbie Prepping. It's Campfire Talks again, part number 3.
Yep. Hello.
We're out again in our favourite forest. A lot of trees down.
Yeah, the lumberjacks.
Yeah, they've been out, sure as heck.
But the good thing is that for our fire, the work's half done for us now. All we have to do is pick up the small pieces and chop them up a bit more, and
Chuck them in.
Yeah, and I can't say that. No one can say now that we're actually cutting down trees, which we didn't really do anyway. But because, as you can see behind us, there are tons of logs.
Tons of them all over the place, right for the taking. For us to burn.
Sorry, no, we can't actually take the big ones because that would be classed as poaching. But
yeah. That was I was going to specify that as a joke. I wouldn't actually try and take one. I know that they're like selling all of this off and everything. It's not for us. Don't sue us. Right. Anyway, so we're here for a Campfire Talks number 3. We're going to go into one subject that I want to talk about first, and then we'll touch upon what we spoke about. Well, what Mark spoke about in our previous video, and maybe going off a few tangents there as well. Alrighty. So,
another novel.
That's not a novel. It's just a few notes. Right. Okay. So what I want to talk about today is the term prepper being a negative thing. It's like it's the new conspiracy theorist. It's like, oh, they're just a conspiracy theorist. Oh, they're just a prepper. Like, oh, they're a prepper. Therefore, like anything bad that's happening, that's it. It's the end of the world. It's the end of the world. It's like, and like it's kind of like seems like a trendy term now. It's like it used to be survivalist. I've seen people on the forum saying like, I don't know where this prepper term came from. Back in my day it was survivalist, but now everyone's a prepper, and yeah, like the negative connotations have come across from that. It's like if you announce yourself as a prepper to someone, then everyone just assumes that you've got a bunker and oh, there's no rice on that shelf, therefore there's a food shortage. Oh my god.
Yeah, they I think they when they find out that you're a prepper, they give a little smile, and they're just thinking in their head, you plum,
Yeah.
And some, I know one guy who, at the beginning of this of the pandemic, what we went through, he before that he was always like a bit of a dig, a bit of a laugh, yeah, okay. So when you're going to go up in the mountains and and when the actual pandemic hit, he actually sent me a message and said, how bad can this get? And so he soon changed his tune because of what was happening. But he's just gone back to normal because obviously we're meant to be coming out of this now. Which seems to be dragging on and dragging on.
Yeah, indeed. Yeah, like for a moment there, it seemed like it was going to get a bit serious, but then, yeah, the whole pandemic, it's not exactly like there was people lying dead in the streets and stuff. I mean, yes, there's been a lot of deaths and they're very tragic and everything, but it's not as if it's like there's a virus that has totally ravaged the world. There are still more people that have died in childbirth than there have died of coronavirus, according to the Worldometer website. But anyway, we're not going too much into that, not yet at least anyway. We're just talking about this. So yeah, there's pigeonholing as well. People think that if you're a prepper, then like you've totally devoted your life to it as well. And like there's devoting your life to it, and then there's like what we do, where like we're conscious of it, but we're not like devoting our lives to it. Like we're not like packing up our family and moving them out to I don't know, like somewhere up in the mountains and just like living off the land and stuff. But like to be a prepper, you don't have to do that.
No, and sometimes when people accuse others of doing that, they're actually going on to people doing the homesteading, who's living off grid, and some of them are not actually preppers.
Yeah.
They just want to live off grid. Going back to like an old way of living, where they can grow what they need. They have chickens. They have like a few animals, and they live a more simpler lifestyle.
Yeah.
It's not that they're preppers, but to us they're the ideal preppers because they're actually doing it now.
Yeah.
But that's just the way they choose to live that way.
And it's sad as well because those homesteaders, they would be lumped into the whole prepper category that like has all the negative connotations attached to it. So it's like they could get made fun of for being, you're living out in a homestead. That means you must be one of those people that think the end of the world is coming. It's like, no, it's not like that at all. Just see. Oh yes. So there's it's even gotten to a point now where it's in like popular media. Like I did a reaction to like Bill Burr. He's done a lot of sketches, way more than the ones that I reacted to, where like he's talking about preppers and stuff. Sometimes, like I think in the earlier ones, he's been kind of on the side of a prepper, but then in other ones, I think he's seen more about it and learned more of the crazy sort of preppers that go full into it, and like he's kind of made fun of them like that. But the main thing that I've seen recently is the Grand Tour. Obviously, the guys from Top Gear, they did a segment in one of the episodes, I think season 2, where Richard Hammond was pretending to be a prepper and he built this big like
tank.
Well, I won't say tank just yet, because he built this van. Well, he had a van and he built it up to be like a prepper mobile. And then the joke was that Clarkson and May came along in a literal tank and fired a shell at it and just blew it up completely. Yeah. And he said like, if your prepper vehicle can't take that, then how are you supposed to defend against aliens and zombies that you're prepping for? And it's like, yeah, like, because that's, that's the main concern of a prepper, is like the aliens coming and the zombies attacking. It's like, no, it's not that. It's preppers are prepping for things that credibly can happen. We're prepping for that. So unfortunately, that kind of brings like a negative connotation towards preppers as well, because no doubt, like, there are mindless people who watched that sketch and they thought like, oh my god, so anyone who's a prepper, clearly they're just morons that have played too many games, they've watched too many movies, and they think that the end of the world is coming and the aliens are going to attack, and it's not like that at all. And like, I got to stress as well, it sounds like I'm just like really complaining because like I'm really affected and saddened by people making fun of preppers. It's like, it's not that. It just annoys me that people get it so wrong. And because I prefer if everyone had, the right sort of information, because there's so much like rampant false information out there, and it would put some people off being a prepper. Yeah. Like I don't want to identify with them because everyone thinks of them as just like these like conspiracy theorist morons.
See, it does. People will be more concerned or scared about coming out and saying that they want to learn about prepping, especially to their friends, when they know that they're going to get ridiculed, they're going to have the piss taken out of them, and obviously when you get as old as me, I just don't care. It's just like, if you don't like what I do, tough, know. And we're probably going to get some people saying, there they go again, going on about prepping. Well, if you're in that frame of mind, why are you even watching?
True.
It's like, I don't really like football. Yeah. One, because I can't really play, but I've never really been interested in football. So I don't watch football matches. Yes, I have a team, my local team when I grew up, I want them to do well. I couldn't tell you who the manager is, and I couldn't tell you half the players. But just because they was my local team, I want that local team to do well. Obviously, I moved around a lot, but I still stuck with the same local team.
Too right, man. And what you were saying about friends as well, is like, I do have this friend, and like, I know for a fact that he won't watch this, based on.
So you feel safe now?
Like, I feel safe. I don't want to, but like, mate, I love you. If you ever do see this, I love you and everything. I'm not going to say your name because whatever.
You know who you are.
You know who you are. You'll especially know who you are after I say what you said. And like, it's fine. You're welcome to your opinion and everything, but like I'll get into my main point after I've said what you said. When the thing happened in Texas, where like it got completely covered in snow and there were deaths from exposure and everything because Texas is just not used to having such cold weather, that the electric companies went out and everything. I put into our little group chat, like, see, it's reasons just like this that I'm a prepper, because you never know when something is going to happen. Like, you can have years of the same sort of weather, and then suddenly, bam, a new type of weather, just completely shock to the system, and then people will die from it. That is why I'm a prepper. And he put up a little gif of Stanley from The Office doing his little eye roll thing. And I will admit, I did get kind of annoyed at that. And like what he said after, like I didn't address it with him, but like I was kind of a little bit annoyed with it as well. But I got over it. I don't care anymore. So if you're ever watching, it doesn't matter. But what he said was like he said, I am sorry for posting that like gif, but honestly, whenever you start talking about prepping, the way I hear it is exactly the way I would hear an advert for like Raid Shadow Legends. I just switch off because it doesn't interest me. I'm never going to be interested, and it just, like, it's boring. So like I'll do you a favor and not ever reply whenever you do talk about prepping, because it's just not for me. And the thing is like I found that kind of insulting, because like I'm not trying to sell a product to this guy. Like, I'm not trying to sell a product to you. I'm trying to I'm not like trying to enrich your life. Like, all I'm saying is like, it's a good idea to have a stock of items, like a bit of physical money in your house, a bit of extra food stocked away, just in case something does go wrong. I mean, and again, I don't want to harp on you too much, but before the lockdown happened, and before it was classed as a worldwide pandemic, this is the same guy who was saying, like, I was going a bit out of control with it. I was talking as if, like, I was one of those vegans who has a go at meat eaters, like as if I'm like high and mighty and I'm above them because I am thinking this way when all these other people aren't. But that's not what I was doing. I was trying to reinforce that, like, we should be prepared for something bad to happen. And what happened? The world went into a worldwide pandemic and a big lockdown happened. Thankfully, the governments were good enough to allow for essential trips to the shops to still keep happening.
Not in China.
Not in China. Oh yeah, like talking about just the UK. In China, they were literally welded like into their into their little flats or whatever they're called, apartments, whatever. Like among other things, yeah. That sort of stuff. Like, so we had it quite good over here. It could have been a lot worse, and that's why I'm always saying about how, well, we're always saying about how, like, this pandemic is not as bad as it could have been. This lockdown is not as bad as it could have been. Again, all the deaths, tragic, of course, but it's not as bad as it could have been. And so, yeah, so, like, to my friend, the last thing I'll say, I'm sorry to use you as such a prime example, and like, I'm not like annoyed at you, and I don't want to call you out. That's why I'm not like saying your name, and I still love you, my man. But yeah, like everything you said is like kind of a prime example of why, like, I think that preppers have, like, people have the wrong state of mind about prepping. It's not. We're not telling you at the drop of a hat you should buy all of this stuff and then go run into the forest. We're telling you to be prepared in case something bad happens. We've said it in a video before. You buy life insurance, you buy car insurance, you have a spare tire in the back of your car. All of that is just in case something bad happens. Like, and that's it.
Good. That's it. Because otherwise you are picking on him.
Yeah. That's all. Yeah. If I go any further into it, then yeah. Like, again, I'm sorry, my man. You know I love you. But
let's get back on topic.
Yeah, let's get back on topic. Although I think that was...
No, yeah, it's
relating to the topic, but I don't want to lay into it too much.
Yeah.
And like, if you want to respond to that, don't respond harshly. Like, again, like, I'm not like trying to be bad to you or anything. So, yeah.
Back to the novel.
yeah, going back to the novel here, I've accidentally gone onto your mobile data. Anyway, so a few weeks ago, I sent you an article or a video about how preppers, like, this is how bad it's gotten with the state of mind of people about preppers, that it's gotten now to the government.
Sorry, I know you say about state of mind. Now, this only happens in America, right? Well, this is based in America, and they've changed some laws.
Yeah.
And just you saying about state of mind of preppers, it's like the state of mind of their leader. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
it's like cuckoo, you know.
Yeah.
And we're the cuckoos as far as they're concerned, and we're the threat. Okay.
Yeah.
Sorry, let's get back onto the subject. Sorry, I just wanted to say that it's just like state of mind.
I know. Yeah. Like, well, it is. It's like it's coming from their leader, their commander in chief. I don't know if it's directly that. I'm not too sure about American politics. This is an American issue at the moment, but I think it's important to talk about. A guy. I'll put the video here. Link in the description so you can watch it.
And link to the actual articles.
To the articles that he's talking about. Yeah, we'll put all of that in the description below as well. Preppers, what was it again, pal? They were being targeted as threats to national security?
Yeah, threats to national security.
Yeah.
And they on a watch list.
Yeah.
Because of their hobbies, technically.
Mm-hmm.
Their way of thinking is a national security threat.
Yeah. Did they say extremist at all?
Yeah, it's coming to extremists. And it's coming under the... it's on the verge of being domestic terrorists.
Yeah. Simply because they've got like a stockpile weapons you can buy over there in America, in case you didn't know. So a lot of these people, they're probably better kitted out than the army at this point. So of course, they've just been labelled as extremists and threats to national security. Of course, less likely to happen over here because what are we illegally allowed in the UK? You're not even allowed a handgun because it's too easy to conceal. I have found out recently in Northern Ireland, where we are at, you are allowed a handgun because a friend in the army, Irish, so don't have a go at me. He's told me that you can have a handgun and you can also have any other like shotgun, rifle.
As long as you have a license, obviously.
Get a license first, yeah, of course, yes.
You got to have a license.
Yeah, what I'm saying is because it's like generally harder over here to get firearms, it's less likely that it will happen over here. But yeah, like over in America, preppers are literally seen as enemies of the state, or at least it's getting that way. It might be jumping the gun a little bit to say that, but what has been put forward, it really does seem like it's going that way. And I think that's like the perfect example of preppers being seen in such a wrong way, because at the end of the day they're stockpiling so that they can protect themselves when if and when something bad does happen. Bloody hell, all this smoke is going right at me. You can see in the camera, it's all coming straight towards me. It's dodging Mark. It's coming at me. Anyway,
a different class of prepper.
Yeah. See, like, I'm a bad prepper because I didn't even prep for where the bloody smoke is going, and Mark did. It's like he's perfectly out of the way of it. Oh, God. See, I'm always going to be the newbie, man. I'm always going to be number 2.
And when we set up, I said, "Are you sure you're right there?" And he goes, yeah, it'll be fine.
It'll be fine.
Okay. No problem.
Yeah. Oh, God. Anyway, so, yeah. So, what are your thoughts on that, man? Do you think it'll ever get as bad as that over here? Do you think it'll get any worse over in America?
In America, it will get worse. And over here, the government just thinks that we're fruitcakes. They don't really care. We're not a threat because the police are armed and we're not.
Yeah.
And I say that there was a case ages ago. There was a video I covered about it that a couple, not too far away from where we are,
link up here to that video.
Yeah, was
and in the description.
Prosecuted for having explosives, and their argument was, well, we watched Doomsday Preppers, and we were prepared for whatever it was. It didn't go into too much detail, but they were preppers, and I've done the article just to say, look, don't have stuff what's illegal. You don't need it.
Didn't they have stuff that they could make IEDs?
Yeah.
Explosives.
Yeah.
So yeah, obviously.
Yeah.
I mean, Christ, don't do that over here. Wow.
Think of, if you're going to be a prepper and you want to survive. Yeah. You think of Rambo. Right. He. Obviously, I'm not saying going out in the woods and set some snares to kill people. Please don't do that.
Yeah.
But
you're probably going to have to specify about the whole Rambo thing.
But the snares what he made, if you downsize them to catch animals and stuff, that would be the way to go forward. I don't understand why they would have the explosives what they did have as a prepper.
Yeah.
Unless they think that the rest of Northern Ireland is just going to go on a rampage and kill everyone, you know. But then seeing some videos of the fuel shortage in mainland UK, it's like a guy with a knife. It's like, oh my god!
Yeah.
And it was only within like a few days of a fuel shortage. And this is what we say: anything what would happen puts people under pressure, and people do stuff what they would generally not do.
Yeah.
Or perhaps he was a knife-wielding lunatic.
Yeah, exactly.
But
I think the majority of people would like to keep the status quo as long as possible and not go down that rabbit hole. But safe to say there are some people who will go for that straight away.
And that was just fuel. Now, if you're thinking that everyone's going to be, if there's they're talking about, well, over here they're saying that there's going to be a toy shortage at Christmas. Right, okay. There's food shortages because of drivers, and there's energy shortage, which can't be put down to Brexit. There's gas shortage, which I can understand some people saying it's caused by Brexit, but it's not getting the fuel. It's the price of fuel, which I would say, yes, is down to Brexit because we're not part of the same market anymore and we have to bid for it.
Yeah.
So, yes, we're paying more for the gas from Europe. So I will agree with that. Yeah. But then, for anarchy to set in, it's when people believe there's no other way. Yeah. Apart from physical strength.
Yeah. And
there's a lot more people bigger than other people, if you get that phrase. They're like, Rich is a lot bigger than me, apart from the fat. He's a lot bigger than me, so he would be more intimidating than me. Unfortunately, I'm a bit of a fruitcake, so I could be a bit more intimidating back. But if you've got some of the lads now who as skinny as a rake and are, I'm going to say more feminine in their ways, you know, more passive, you know. You say boo to them and they will jump back, you know. So, and that's not getting at anyone of the, you know, lifestyles or whatever. But when it comes down to the crunch and people are desperate for food to feed their families, they do some out of character actions and responses to things would be out of character. And I think there was one, it was called Blackout, and I think it was a BBC little show. And it was about
a documentary or
it was called Blackout, and it was like the power went out for about a week or so in the UK, all over, and it showed a group of people, and one was like a prepper who did plan for stuff like this, and he had a generator, he had a stock of food, and they invited someone in from next door who had some meat and stuff, so they cooked it on the barbecue, and it got mentioned that he had a generator, and he was trying to keep it quiet. And then he got robbed that night, and his generator got stolen, and he got beaten up a little bit, and then they started running out of food because most of it got nicked, and he went out to a supermarket to raid it. And there was a guy there who was trying to protect the supermarket, and the fight broke out, and he was beating him up. And I can't remember if he actually done the final blow where he killed him or where he was beating him up. But as he was beating him up, he was so set in that frame of mind. I need to feed my children. I need to feed my children. I need to do anything I need to do. He beating him up, and then the power will come up, and it was caught on video that he was beating up someone for food.
Yeah.
And he ran out. And so he was like, it was just like quite a good dynamic of how it did. A prepper who planned for everything actually turned into the thing that he was planning against.
Yeah. So he had everything in place that he needed, but because it all got stolen, like he became the thug that he originally wanted to defend against. And of course, because all the power came on, he was caught on camera. He was then, I assume, tried and thrown in jail. Man, that shows like. That's a real good eye-opening sort of thing. Is that even if you do prepare you could quite easily get into a situation. All it takes is one person or a group of people to just take all of your stuff because you're not prepared for that sort of thing happening, and then to put you back into the Dark Ages, and then you have to join the rest of the people who have become thugs. So. That's a real eye-opening sort of thing, man. That sounds really good.
And so for me, it's like, yes, we come out, and if you're local, you would know where this is. You would know where this is. And I know that we've had some people say, "Oh, where are you planning to bug out? Can we see your Blackout place?" No. It's simple. No. Because wherever we bug out to, I don't want people coming up to that and risking their own injury. Because it would be their own injury if they're coming into my area where my family is going to be. Because I will protect my family and my friends who's going to be part of that. If they want to join the community, get in contact before something happens.
But and prove your worth.
But someone coming in after everything's gone to pot and they're scavenging food, and also they realise, oh, I know there's a homestead place here, or I know there's a prepper who lives up in these woods because he showed the camp of it. Right. For those people who are risking your own necks type thing, because you will be deemed as a enemy. You know, and I've had discussions with my wife, and she says, well, what if there's a car bin off the road and there's children there? I'll drive past them. And she goes, oh, but they're children. And it's also bait. You know, oh
my God.
People do it. People lie on the floor. Oh, I'm hurt. Drive past them. Don't put your own life and your own family at risk.
Even if they're in front of the car.
Just drive random, or if you can, you know. Don't plough through them because that might damage your car. That sounds really evil to say, but clearly they are just trying to stop you to take your car. Potentially.
But you can't take that risk. Not in that situation anyway, where the proverbial shit has hit the fan. You can't trust anyone in that situation. If it's gotten to that point, and that's what we got to stress. If it's gotten to that point.
And at that point, the law's broken down, because if people were scavenging, and preppers would probably be out before most preppers would actually be out, and they'd be set up comfortably, and they'd be watching. They would have little alarm mechanisms around 100 meters out or 200 meters out. They might have little cameras set up, Wi-Fi cameras, what they can pick up with just their phone, which is solar powered. You know, and if you get detected, then they know that you're coming. You know? And believe me, when you're living out in the woods, you get used to the sounds. And someone who's not been in the woods would walk through and break the twigs, make noise, and noise travels. It really does, especially at night. So I've been told I'm a bit of a weirdo, because I would quite comfortably walk through a forest at night, and with just a bit of minimum light or hardly no light. And Crystal says that it's not in our nature as humans, it's in our like DNA to be scared of the dark because we can't see. But I'm quite comfortable walking around at night, and that is for my benefit now. Because if anything happens, I can walk up to a camp and they won't know I'm there. Because no one's expecting some to be walking around at night with no lights on.
Mate, that is exactly like when I did my solo overnighter. Like, ask anyone when they first do a solo overnighter. There is always that like fear. Of course, it's unfounded and it's like a kind of like a childlike fear of like. But like how I calmed myself down was it's like you would see anyone coming up to your camp from miles away because in general, exactly like you said, people would use torches and use flashlights for you Americans. Because they can't see, and especially like when I came up here as well, this whole place was all chopped down and everything. It's quite a difficult walk.
Sorry, have you got your?
Oh,
it's tea time.
It's tea time. It's coffee time.
And you've got it ready. Oh my
God. Well.
And you're going to show off your mug.
I am.
Mug.
Right here. It's right here. My beautiful mug here. Made by my friend George.
Sorry, I usually interrupted you.
Oh, that's fine. Made by my friend George. Carved it out of a solid piece of wood, all by hand, and then even did this intricate design. I'll show you a picture of it because you probably can't see it from here. It's a brilliant little mug. Thank you very much, George. I know you're watching because you watch every video. You're a brilliant guy. I love you. I miss you. Marry me.
Nice mug. Nice mug. As you can see, it's the normal way of doing things. The old flask straight in the actual fire, glove, pick it up.
Yeah.
You know, hardly any waste.
And that's been in there like the entire time, and we've been talking now for 34 minutes.
And it's just blubbering away, and it's just like, it's ready now.
Yeah.
You know.
That's it, my man.
You were saying about your overnighter.
Yeah.
And people coming up with torches and being out.
Being
like, scared.
Yeah. So I was a big girl's blouse. Oh, I don't know if you can say that anymore. It's a negative connotation towards women. Love women, strong women, beautiful. If you're offended, tough. I don't mean anything bad against women anyway, so whatever. There was always that nervousness because like it was the first time I was out by myself, and it was like overall it was a great experience. And like after a few hours, I stopped feeling that way. And like, if people are going to be walking around, especially with this harsh terrain, they're going to be doing it with lights, unless you've got someone like Mark. But like, what were the chances would be astronomical that someone would even find me, because like I was so tucked away where I was, and like, just the main thing is that people, bloody smoke. Yeah, the main thing is that like, people would generally be using torches and lights, and like I was also thinking to myself as well, is like, it's not as if people are just gonna like zero in on my position as if they know where I am. It's like that's why I say it was like a childlike fear of like of people coming up. So after I thought about all that, thought about it logically, it was like, nah. I just had a good night after that. Well, until it poured down with rain, and then all the rain just kind of soaked into my hammock and caused the underside of it to get wet. That was the bad part. But hey, watch my video here of how I fixed that. And if you're a hammock and tarp camper, or you've been thinking about hammock and tarp camping, watch this video because it's a nice little introduction. Beautiful. Sorry for plugging. It's
I think that especially for a newbie prepper, you to really understand what we're really saying, you need to go out and do an overnight camp on your own. You know, and just remember that there is nothing in the UK what can seriously hurt you apart from another human. You know?
You are the scariest thing out there. Yeah.
And another person would need light because they need to see where they're going. Because we don't have any wolves, we don't have boars, we don't have bears. You know, we don't have wild cougars, cats, and stuff like that. We do have feral cats, but feral cats are not really in the woods. Badgers would stay away from you. And foxes are scavengers, so they would come into your camp, but as soon as you start moving, they would skittle off.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so unless you're scared of a sheep or something like that, would go into a forest, because obviously it would just go anywhere.
Mm-hmm.
It's one of those things. It's the only thing to fear is fear itself.
Mm-hmm.
Fear. I'm quoting words from a massive big seller novel.
Yeah.
The only thing to fear is fear itself. Fear is the mind killer.
Yeah.
You know, and in a prepping situation, your fear is going to be a mind killer.
Mm-hmm.
So get used to being outdoors. You know, get used to different types of weather, and get used to listening to the sounds of the forest, because that will be your best defense and ally. You know, because someone coming into these woods now, if they're right down the bottom of the hill, they're not going to hear us talk. They won't see the fire. They won't even see the smoke, right? And as they start coming up, they'll be breaking twigs. We will hear that, you know, and we will be alerted to them quicker and then quicker than they will be alerted to us. So we could spot them, and we could just stay still and just watch them, because seeing someone in the wood is harder than seeing someone the opposite way around. You know, so we'll see them, and as they glance through, they look at all they see is like
a big wall of trees.
Wall of trees, and another tree here, another tree there. You know, there's something sticking up over there. Oh, it's a tree stump. You know, and your head would be, you know, blurred. You know,
it'd be like a Where's Wally? It's like,
yeah,
like unless you like actively properly like was zoning in trying to see someone's head, but like someone walking past like on the pathway, just looking up, they're not going to see you.
No. And there's been people going through walking their dogs, and you know, as every now and again I've looked over and I can see them walking around, and they're absolutely oblivious that we're up here. You know, which is good. But yeah, it's there was a thing. What was I was talking to people, some friends on YouTube last night, and I'm gonna redo the way I do my laces up.
Yeah. Okay.
Right.
Kind of interested to see where this is going now.
Now, they was talking about Gurkhas. Yeah. And so the army do up their shoes in a certain way. Okay. And I understand why now, why they do that.
Yeah.
Because the Gurkhas, right, would be able to sneak up to you, and before they attack, they actually check your shoelaces.
Yeah.
Because if you've got them crisscrossed,
like me,
you could be a potential enemy.
Yeah.
Because they don't do it that way.
Oh my god. So
they would know to attack someone who's got them crisscross, and everyone does crisscross because it's the way we got taught at school.
Oh.
But they do it in a different way, which I will tell you about. And I'm not going to put this on YouTube, but I'll tell you a different way. So they do it in a different way, and they can tell if you're friend or foe just by doing that.
That's so weird.
I know.
So Gurkhas, and explain what a Gurkha is. Is that a type of jargon for military?
No, it's a regiment of the Gurkhas. They come from. I'm going to get this wrong. I'm going to say Nepal, and they have their own hierarchy.
Right.
Yeah, and then they get hierarchy in the army. I've worked with a few Gurkhas in security, and they are the most friendliest guys possible.
Yeah.
You know, they would help. They understand. Obviously, I was a manager, and they was some of my staff, and they would just, if you say, "Oh, I need this done," we'll sort it out. And they have their own hierarchy. So, not hierarchy. They have their own hierarchy in their own society. So you could potentially have a corporal and a lance corporal, but the lance corporal could have a hierarchy in their community, so he would actually give orders to the corporal.
Right.
You know.
Yeah.
But obviously, when the chain of command in the army way, obviously the person who's the lance corporal would understand he would need to be told a military thing. But when it's not, it's the other way around.
Mm-hmm.
You know.
Okay.
But they and I remember my dad served out in Malaya, and he turned around and said that he was on guard duty, and you generally, when you're out on guard duty, you listen out and you can hear crickets going and stuff like that. And these two Gurkhas got up to him and tapped him on his knee as he was standing, and he didn't even hear them coming.
Wow. My God.
Yeah.
Talk about elite, man.
And they served the
Jesus.
British forces faithfully, and I've got the utmost respect for them.
Yeah. Absolutely, man. Well, same here, based on what you said. Absolutely. Fair play. So, is that like something that we would have to worry about? Like, if we're out in our bug out spot,
No, because there's not many Gurkhas over here.
Yeah. But you would just do the laces just in case.
I would do the laces just in case, because obviously it depends on what happens.
Yeah.
We might decide that we might need to move across over to England and rescue people, or to move down south because the climate's changed that much.
Yeah.
Where it's just too cold to live.
Mm-hmm.
So we might need to get to more the southern hemisphere, to the equator area. So it'd be something that I would do, because it's not going to really affect us any other way apart from undoing our shoelaces and doing them up in a different way.
Yeah, exactly. So might as well just do it. Fair play. Play. Oh man, fair play. Okay.
That threw you off topic then, didn't it?
Yeah, a little bit. I said about we would be going on tangents, but just
you didn't think that one, did you?
Yeah. Going on to shoelaces there. Damn. I guess final thoughts.
Just the world we live in is like, oh my God, what's happening? It's like everything's gone to pot.
Yeah,
it really has.
I was even saying to my wife today that it feels like same thing I said to you in the car ride over. Like, it feels like things are just getting to that point now where things eventually will kind of spiral out of control. And will it take a long time? Will it be a slow process, or will it take a sharp decline? I'm thinking not, because again, the status quo, people want to try and not do that for as long as possible. But I didn't expect a fuel crisis, and there was. It doesn't help with news articles as well, trying to get clicks. The Belfast Telegraph, they put up an article saying about Northern Ireland starting to get fuel shortages, and in the article they showed a picture from an English petrol station with all the signs saying closed, no fuel and all that. And the funny thing is, I know a guy who is a truck driver for the fuel people, for the fuel stations, the fuel companies over here. And he told me that they're completely different companies that handle the fuel over here. So it's for Northern Ireland, we have no issue because it's completely separate companies. So the fact that Belfast Telegraph, they put up this article, it's literally just fear-mongering.
Yeah, it is. It's just to get readers.
Yeah. They're trying to get clicks. They're trying to get that ad revenue.
And I've seen someone going in the shop and seeing a paper or fuel shortages, or buy the paper.
Yeah.
See what's happening.
Exactly.
I've gone around, and I'm quite proud of how people over here have actually responded to most things. What's been said. It's like, I've been at garages and I've put £20 in. I put between £10 to £20, depends what money I got on me at the time.
Mm-hmm.
It will last me up to a week, maybe a little bit longer.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm fine with that. I don't need to go out and buy loads of petrol.
Yeah.
Because I know there's always going to be petrol there. If not, do you know what I mean? And I've not really seen anyone, even when you go to the pump, you just see again, someone's just put £10 in. You know, you go to another, a few days later, there's still always been like £20 put in or £15. Do you know what I mean? So people over here are not really taking that bait and, let's fill up. Because filling up a car, it would be like £40 to £50.
Yeah.
You know, and that's, yes, you've got the petrol now, but you're going to get more petrol, and you're just giving your money straight to, you know,
indeed,
to the big wigs, you know. But
and like, I don't want to seem like I'm getting like worried at the drop of a hat here or anything like that, but I will say that like there are some people out there who have they say like this is like big corporations like trying to get us like buying up and like spending our money and like giving our money to them and stuff, and but
it is, so I know what you're saying there, but it is quite funny that you've just got this £100 from the government, right? When you get this voucher to spend in shops, right? This £100 from the government is just coming out for this month, for October. You've got to use it before the end of November or whatever. And all of a sudden there's fuel shortage, and they're saying, go out and buy this, or there's going to be buy the toys, and it's like, well, we've just got this extra £100, and you want us to spend it on fuel? No, do you know? It's like,
exactly.
It just seems funny to me. I know it's probably my conspiracy head, you know.
Well,
kick it off.
That's the thing. That's the thing. Like, it is important to say, like we've been saying, like that's this whole time that preppers are seen as like people who just jump to things, but like a lot of the time when we do come to conclusions, it's because like sometimes it is just staring you in the face like that.
Yeah.
It's like they give us all this £100 voucher just as like they're announcing a toy shortage, and we're in the middle of a fuel shortage. So
energy shortage. Yeah.
So exactly. So like everyone is naturally going to be gravitating towards using their vouchers for that.
Yeah.
So like it seems too much of a coincidence.
Yeah. And it could be completely innocent. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. Like,
but if you go back through history, every Christmas there's a shortage of something, right? And yes, it's not generally a widespread of it's toys what's going to be a shortage. It's like when PlayStation 3 came out, it was like the demand's so great there won't be none on the shelves for Christmas. So everyone who wanted one went to rush out and buy it as soon as they could. You know, and that actually boosted up demand, which is great for Sony. You know, I remember when it was Buzz Lightyear come out. This is going to be a shortage of these because they can't get them, and people have been paying 3 times as much, so people rushed out to buy it.
Mate, you know what?
Do you know what I mean?
When I was a kid, I was actually on a holiday in Florida at the time, in Disneyland, and my parents totally bought into that whole thing about like, Buzz Lightyear, you won't be able to find them. So we were in Disneyland. Of course, like they had tons of toys of Buzz Lightyear, and they were like, "Quick, we got to get a Buzz Lightyear before they all sell out." And like there was like rows and rows of them, and they like there was people like queuing up outside the door waiting for like. This was in one of the Disney shops, like in the park itself. Like we got there early just to get a Buzz Lightyear toy.
Which was good for you.
Yeah, it was great for me because I got a Buzz Lightyear toy, like a premium one, not like one of these like later ones that they came out with, which aren't as good. This was like the premium, like absolutely 100% like the thing in the film. Yeah, bit of a humble brag here, but hey, it was also the silver platinum version, which is worth a lot more money now. I'll have you know.
Of course it was. Of course it was.
I didn't want the regular one. I wanted the silver one.
But did he have a sharp axe?
Again with the axe, man. Again with the axe. I got a sharp axe. Now you sharpened it. You helped me sharpen it.
But the good thing is I ain't made no cock-ups on words.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Not in this one, actually. Yeah, fair play to you, man. You've done well. You've done well.
Unlike some top person, I've got all my faculties today.
Yeah.
I can take questions and being questioned, examined, and
Mm-hmm.
you know.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Well, that's enough having a go at each other, I think.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah. I might start crying. You never know. I'm
Okay.
like that just affects me so much. What can I say?
Yeah, okay, woke.
Oh,
Oh, sorry, did I say the
oh,
forbidden word?
don't say the W word, man. Don't say it. Yeah. So anyway.
But no, it's it, the it just baffles me. It's with there's always going to be something each year, which either they're pushing, they don't want to sell, or they overproduce them and it's not been selling. So they come up with, or let's say there's going to be a shortage because then it sells.
Yeah.
Now it could be just a market employ, which is a good market employ.
Yeah,
you know,
it works for 'em.
I remember I used to sell toy soldiers over in England, and went to a show, and the magazine is a magazine for wargamers, and there was an advert that was placed upside down, right, and it was an advert for another trader, and people was going up to him, oh, did you see your advert was upside down? He goes, yes, I deliberately done it that way because I knew it would get a response.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that was
My God, simply having his advert upside down, yeah.
So his advert was upside down. He wanted the upside down because everyone noticed it more.
Yeah.
And it was a good market employ because he got a lot more people coming to him saying, "Oh, did you see your adverts upside down?" And he was like, so he said, "Yeah, I did."
And there they are at his stall. Yeah. Yeah.
I don't know if it actually boosted trade, but it might have done because he got them at the store, so they could see what he's got.
100%, man.
But it was a good market employ.
Yeah, definitely. I think like in terms of prepping, like this whole thing about like creating not a mass hysteria, but like creating demand like this. I think that preppers and survivalists in general, they kind of have like a good eye for noticing this sort of thing as well. It's like again, I'm not saying that you have to be a prepper. You don't have to like join the prepping club or whatever to be able to see this sort of thing. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying that people who are preppers and people who do have that mindset, they're good at spotting this sort of thing and not succumbing to it.
Yeah.
Because like some of the time you just don't need to. Like even over in England, I've seen posts from truck drivers there saying like it's only BP that don't have that many drivers. I work for another company. We've got tons of drivers. There's fuel at every port ready to go out. We've got drivers ready for them. It's just BP that are having trouble at the moment, and it's the media spinning it that no one's going to have fuel and you've got to go out and get it right now.
Yeah. And of course, if a fuel station will get its delivery and it's only got so much, yeah, and that delivery goes on expectations of how much they're going to sell.
Yeah.
So if they've got 10,000 litres of petrol in their main tank, which would be, say, the maximum they can carry, if people on the normal week, they wouldn't know how much they would use. So they might use 8,000 in a general week. So they know, a general day, shall we say. So each day they would have a tanker delivering about 8,000. Where if suddenly everyone thinks there's a shortage, where you would only spend, like myself, 10 to 20 pounds. Oh, I'm going to fill up. Now I've got a van, so filling up a van is like 60 to 70 quid. Well, but that's an extra 40 quid of fuel what normally I wouldn't have bought. So that one one petrol station has just added extra income, which is great for them. But they're down an extra £40 worth of fuel. In their stocks.
And everyone doing the same thing. It's like a self-fulfilling prophecy, man. It's like creating this crisis. Everyone goes out, spends buys more liters than they normally would. That's the reason why the fuel stations are out of fuel. And when people start seeing the signs saying no fuel, that's it. Crisis.
It snowballs.
Yeah, it's like, the media was right. There's no fuel here. That means there's not going to be any more fuel. Oh my God. Like,
so they would go to another one, which generally they wouldn't go to. That garage is not expecting new customers like that. Because generally, we are people of habit.
Mhm.
Yeah. Now, you might go to Asda's, you might go to the Sainsbury's one because of the points system.
Mhm.
Tesco's do the same with points. So you might collect your points, so you'd only go to them.
Yeah.
But if suddenly a lot of people have been there, because quite often people get petrol once they've done the shopping, because it's the same, you're in the same area, and they've taken extra supplies, they've run out, you're going to be going to a different one.
Yeah.
And they're not expecting new customers like that, because
Mhm.
they generally know their. Yes, you might have you've got the ones who just passing through,
Yeah.
But generally, I go to like 2 petrol garages, and that depends on if I forget to go to the first one,
Yeah.
which does happen. You go on that autopilot mode, or I might decide, I've got enough to get home, and then I'll go to the other one because it's only a couple miles away from me, and I know 2 miles on my meter, when it says 2 miles left of fuel, right, I've got to go in, so that's the closest one.
Yeah, exactly.
Now I generally go to the other one because it serves nicer food.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? So
Absolutely.
but they're the only 2 I generally will go to.
Yeah.
Unless I'm in Belfast and on the way back, and then I'll pop into a garage on the way back.
Yeah.
But then I'll still have my preference of which one I will go to.
Yeah.
Because obviously I've done that journey quite a few times.
Mhm.
So having the fuel stations having new customers, and those new customers will think my normal garage is run out, I need to fill up.
Yeah.
They're not expecting it, so this just adds to the shortage.
Yeah, like
of the thing.
makes it look
Snowballs.
like makes it look like more of a crisis is going on. But in reality, for that week where they in between having deliveries, yes, that fuel station might be out of fuel. But the thing is like they've got on order double the amount of fuel because they think next week it's going to be the same. People are going to be flooding to them trying to get fuel. So when that delivery arrives and they've got all of that fuel, people are just going to be like, oh, I thought there was like a fuel crisis on, but now everywhere is full up of fuel again. What happened to the fuel crisis? It's because of you. It's because of you people.
Yeah.
Like that sort of person, all going there and filling up like plastic bottles and stuff for some reason, and like filling up extra jerry cans and all that, like creating the crisis that you think is happening.
And it's not just at that one station.
Yeah,
it has a knock-on effect because obviously we're not being out driving as much.
Yeah,
so the refineries, as I say in the other video, the refineries would have their supply, and they probably all through the summer they would have carried on getting their supply, the stock from the oil rigs and the other areas, and they would have them in, and they would just have their tankers full because there's not demand. No demand brings the price down. And they would have been at capacity, and they were saying, right, oil rig in North Atlantic, we don't need no oil.
Right.
Or we don't need, so no one's buying from the oil rigs.
Yeah.
So what happens then is it's just sitting there, and now all of a sudden there's like people start going back, furloughs ended, people go back out on the streets, going back out to work. Now there's a demand, so there's a big uptake. But the refineries have got the supply. It's just a matter of getting it to the actual garage. And once they see that it's slight, all right, we've used 10,000 litres because we sent out 10,000 litres, they would place an order because they've still got loads of reserves left.
Indeed, yeah.
So they place an order, the tanker comes up, comes to the port, unloads it all. That's the way supply and demand works.
Exactly, yeah.
And it's always that just in time, which I'm absolutely against. But that's the way that works. But if suddenly there's an uptake at the first point, for us it's the garage. They put an order in, but they're not the only one. Now, there could be, if most companies would have like, say 50 drivers, but they may have 100 garages to supply. And on a general day, one driver will go out to one, come back, go out to another one. So they say, right, we've got enough drivers, and they've got enough drivers because the week before we didn't have a shortage.
Mm-hmm.
You know.
Yeah.
You know, it was only when it was advertised there's a shortage.
Yeah.
We had a shortage.
And that was it. Yeah, that was it.
You know.
Set it all off into motion.
And it could be mismanagement to start the paper saying there's a shortage.
Yeah.
You know, because someone not realised, like some people say, oh, we're going, furlough ends Monday, so Saturday we're going to go out, fill up the car, because we're going to need petrol to go back and forward to work. So not just to the shop, we don't need £10, we need £30 per petrol.
Mm-hmm.
So there is an uptake.
Yeah.
One garage, if it's the only garage in that little village and everyone's going back to work, that garage could run out of petrol, because they're not expecting everyone to come in and buy extra fuel because they're going back to work.
Yeah.
You know, and so they run out, and the newspapers come along. Oh, a garage has run out of petrol.
Oh my God!
Believe me, papers just see dollar signs.
Mm-hmm.
There's a fuel shortage. They take a picture of out of fuel.
Yeah.
Dollar signs, pound signs. This is going to go viral. Yeah. Excellent. We're going to be everywhere.
So much ad revenue, all those clicks, and all those papers
everyone
sold.
Falls for that trap. Oh, we need to go out. Then another garage runs out, because people start thinking, oh, we see someone said there's fuel shortage. They go and get some fuel. That one runs out, because the garage can only have a certain amount of fuel, as you know.
Yeah.
They run out. They're not going to get another delivery until the next day, because they place the order, it gets filled up and it gets delivered. Yeah. You know. And so the first one could be mismanagement, not expecting the uptake. Yeah. What caused it all. Yeah. Or conspiracy, you know, tinfoil hat.
Get the tinfoil hat on.
It was all planned.
It was all planned.
the powers that be said, let's get rid of drivers. Yeah. I know, this is a good way. We can blame it on Brexit, send them all back, right? Don't pay them enough, which they don't anyway. Yeah. Right? Bad working conditions. And when it comes up, it was Brexit's fault, we ain't got enough drivers. Well, here comes there's a shortage in Europe as well. Yeah. You know, here comes there's a shortage, you know, everywhere else. And it always seems to be blamed on something is easy to be blamed on, to take the focus away from what's really happened, and it's just either mismanagement, an uptake what they weren't ready for, or missaw. Furlough ending, everyone going back to work. People being on furlough, not being in offices, and they can't pass through people who have passed their tests. You know, that is bonkers to me. You know, why does something have to be done in an office when they go to the office, they go to on the computer and pass it? It's like they have to have certain paper. Well, if it's only, why not open up the office for X amount of people, and still have, like, if you've got an office where there's normally 20 people, you only got 5 in there. They're not breaking any like restrictions, so just have 20 people in. They could have just ticked the office over. Yeah. But the reason why they don't want that is because some people in powers that be want chaos. Yeah. They want to be able to make money, and this is what's happened. You know?
Indeed, man. Yeah, and like, just to top that off there, like, honestly, I think in a week's time, once all of the deliveries to compensate for the amount of fuel needed for all of the people that have got it in the mindset of, oh, there's no fuel left. Once all the deliveries have come in and everyone's got their fuel again, I swear, like, in a week's time, maybe 2 weeks' time, people will be thinking, just genuinely thinking, like, what were we all scared about? Yeah. What was all that about? What was all that about?
See, now I know,
and then it'll be on to the next thing.
The next thing.
The next big fear thing.
There is a shortage of drivers. Retirement age for drivers is 55. Yeah. Yeah. Oh, wow. So it's like, you know that you've got a lot of people coming up to be retired, so you need to get people their test done. And obviously, because of COVID, they've not been able to be passed off, which slows down the process. You know, you can't just turn around and say, let's hire in foreign drivers, for 6 months. One, it's not fair for the driver, because obviously he's got a family over in Poland, France, Spain, wherever.
Mm-hmm.
And also, it's a bit narrow-minded, because you're robbing a driver from another country who's also going through a shortage of drivers, because they've been in lockdown. They can't probably do the same tests, get the paperwork done. It's like, just ride it through. A bit better management of the DVLA, and I'm glad I got that right, because I know you would have took the mickey out of me. Right?
I know, unfortunately I can't say anything.
Would have helped that, yes, I know they've been on strike, which, if the office is shut, where they're striking, at home.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? It's like, okay, that's really give you a lot of advertising that you're striking at home. But I'm sorry, guys, I know I'm taking the mickey, but that made no sense, striking at home. Normally you always a vision of strike with picket, the old balls outside, the old barrel full of fire to keep you all warm.
Yeah.
But it's just we're going to have a winter, a very bad winter of a lot of suffering, where, because of all the fuel prices going up, people are going to go without heat, which this winter there'll be a lot more deaths, sad to say, because of this. And it's sad. We didn't need to be in this situation. I've heard that credit card interest payments are going up. Shortly, you've got banks looking to be landlords now, because obviously they know that the best way to have their money is in property, because property always goes up. And it's a good investment, like gold. Only if there's a society to buy it, but
that's it, man. Going a bit awry. Well,
it's gone doolally. It really has.
Has,
and as I say, Elon Musk, I know you're a big follower of us.
You are one of our most devoted followers and subscribers. We know.
If you want us to do a newbie prepping on Mars, we're up for it.
We'll do an overnight on Mars.
We'll do an
overnight.
Obviously, if you can pay for us to get there.
Just float us some dough for some travel money. Get us there. We'll do it for you. Well, don't you worry.
Be excellent. The first preppers on Mars. We're up for that, mate.
Yeah, totally.
A lot of respect, and I'm not taking the mickey. You are a really clever guy.
Absolutely.
You've done marvellous for the space race. But we would love to be the first preppers on Mars.
That would be fantastic.
That'd be cool.
Oh man, well I think with that, we might end it here.
Okay. Sorry, before we go, have we done any more to podcasting?
We haven't.
This goes over my head normally.
What we were thinking of doing was putting the Campfire Talks onto podcast platforms. Sorry, 2 seconds. I don't know what I'm trying to make.
It's gone dark.
It has gone dark.
Hey.
That'll do. Right. That'll do.
We have light.
Let there be light, as that one guy said in that one book some time ago.
Ooh, risky.
Oh well. We've thought about doing podcasting. These Campfire Talks are essentially podcasts. It's not really a visual thing. So we've thought about putting them on Spotify and all that. And I think if we do get back into like a similar, every 2 weeks or something, Saturday or Sunday or whatever.
Now we're back on track.
We should do it. Then we'll definitely get that done. So
watch out for us on Spotify.
Watch out for us for whenever we come up on there. I'll put like an update video or something on, or we'll just say about it in one of the Campfire Talks videos. Apart from that, thank you very much for watching this all the way through to the
Thumbs
end.
up.
Like, favorite, subscribe, hit the bell icon, We have a range of merchandise, t-shirts and stuff here. Not just stuff for newbie prepping. There is stuff there for wild camping, for bushcrafting, and some nice leave no trace stuff there as well. Sun's coming out again, and it's starting to rain, so it's perfect time to finish. I think that's everything. Well, I felt a little bit of dots here or there. Maybe
That's probably bird poo.
Oh, it's probably bird poo. Oh, that's all right.
Sky.
No, I'm definitely feeling like.
I'm feeling it too, mate. I'm feeling it too.
That's really weird. There's no clouds above us. I'm feeling drops of. I don't know. That's
bird
weird.
poo.
Anyway, it's definitely bird poo. I'm covered in bird poo right now.
It's supposed to be good luck for you.
Well, I need all the luck I can get.
Yeah.
Let's be honest. now. Thank you very much for watching all the way to
Thumbs
the
up to you.
end. And we'll see you again next time on Newbie Prepping. Bye
We
bye.
should be very soon. Good night.
Yes.
And be safe. Get training.
Absolutely. Get out there, get training, get experience, and then become a prepper, because being a prepper ain't a bad thing.
No. Good night, everyone.
Good night. See you again. Bye bye.